Welcome back to Level Up with Lori, where I talk a little bit about life, a little bit about business, and every single thing in between, where I share strategy and where I hope to shift your perspective and the way that you show up in the world. Because at the end of the day, what I really truly believe the world needs more of is the magic that every single one of us has inside of us. So sit back, relax, enjoy the episode, and I will see you on the other side. Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Level Up with Lori. Today, I am trying something out. Those of you that are listening on the podcast, you won't really know this, but I'm actually recording with my video on because I have some ideas about how to kind of spread this content a little bit further, how to get it to more people. And I thought actually recording it, because normally I do record these on Zoom and then they get uploaded to my podcast. The little intro gets added, all that little finessing happens. I actually edit probably a whole lot less than you would anticipate, simply because I believe in kind of that authenticity. If I stumble over my words, whatever, right? So my hope is that I can start to upload these onto YouTube, maybe start to create like an email series around them, maybe even put the actual recordings onto the different social media platforms. I don't quite know. I haven't built out the strategic plan yet, but like I teach my clients, whenever you're doing something, whenever you're creating something for your business, one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself is ask yourself, how can I use this content in bigger ways, right? Like, how can I get the most bang for your buck, my buck? And I actually call this giving your content wings, because it takes one piece of content and then it delivers them over a number of different platforms, which increases your audience, increases your impact, all of that good stuff. So this is just a little bit of a journey for me, an experimentation. And if you are watching this or listening to something other than the podcast, let me know, because it will mean that it is working. So, okay, today I wanted to talk about something like a little bit different than what I normally talk about. And that's not going for the carrots. That's not achieving all the goals. It's interesting because those of you that know me well, or those of you that have been a part of my journey over the course of the last 8+ years, you will know that I am a self-proclaimed carrot chaser. I really didn't know a whole lot about the network marketing industry before I got into it, but I really took to the incentives and the promotions and like the things that you had to go for. And I honestly kind of think that I built my business on chasing those things, because I didn't have like a certain level of mentorship, or I didn't seek out the training that I needed to like tell me like do to build a business. What I did to build my business was I chased the carrots. I went for the incentives, and I trusted that my company was having me jump through the right hoops at the right times in order to build my business in the right way. And that looked like bringing a certain number of women onto my team at some times. And I mean, that is something that I built in consistency into my business, etc. That looked like achieving certain sales levels or points levels, what that looks like for you, right? It could have been going after a trip for 2. It could have been going after 2 logoed towels that have never been used in my house and like remain still in the original packaging. It didn't matter what the carrot was for me. I was going after it. And when I started to, and I have to say that like there's 2 sides to every single thing, right? Because on the outside, I was achieving all the things. I was getting all of the recognition. I could see my name out there. People were constantly asking me for tips or like in all vanity, knowing who I was when I would go to company things. And that felt really good, right? And that's one of the things that I love about the network marketing industry the most is the recognition is second to none in any other industry that I know of, maybe other than like, I'm not even gonna quote other industries. Anyways, but on the inside, what that often looked like to me, like the flip side of that coin was often that chasing things when I didn't have the energy to chase things, or my actions and my energy were being dictated by whatever seemed pertinent in that moment, regardless of what was going on inside my life. And So it could look like having to work on a family vacation, or like I used to really, and here's the thing. I think discipline is a really important thing in our businesses. And I don't think that you have to leave your business at home in order to be present with your family. I don't believe that. However, I think that you should get to choose. I think that you should build a business that's sustainable in the life that you live, in the life that you want to lead, and the life that you want to live. And I don't really think that I was doing that simply by chasing every single carrot. Every single year, when the boys were little, before the pandemic hit, we would drive to Florida during the Christmas holidays. That just also happened to be like right on par with the biggest, like one of two biggest like selling opportunities in my business. And so I would literally do it on the road. And on the one hand, amazing that I could actually do that, actually achieve the level of sales that I did while also enjoying family time. But some part of me looks back on that situation and asks and makes myself wonder, if I had been the one in the driver's seat, if I had been the one calling the shots, would I have organized it in that way? Would I have sacrificed the sleep-ins or the moments of being present? And in certain instances, yeah, like I don't mind working, right? There's nothing that challenges me about working. In fact, leaning back and being relaxed is actually harder for me than working. But truth be told, I wouldn't have set it up that way if I was doing things on my own watch, if I was the one making the rules. And so all this to say is that one of the most empowering experiences that I ever had in my entire business career wasn't earning a trip for two to Hawaii, wasn't like flying my husband, having that experience, which was absolutely amazing, for like to have him have this piece of like understanding about what I was building and who I was inside of this organization. Giving him that experience and giving that to us as a couple and all those things, like it was incredible, amazing. I will never downplay any of that. But one of the most empowering experiences that I ever had wasn't speaking up on a stage or earning an Apple Watch or a pair of shoes or whatever it was. It was actually choosing not to go after that thing. There was this year where there was a lot going on in my life. And it was as I was kind of transitioning towards deciding what I wanted my network marketing business to be inside of my life and alongside of my brand new coaching business, because you get to define, right? Just because you're on the up and the up, just because you're in top leadership, just because you're wherever you are, doesn't mean that you always have to go for that spot, right? And just because you're at the bottom of the totem pole right now, doesn't mean you can't strive for the top leadership position, right? And doesn't mean that there won't be different seasons for different things inside of your business and inside of your life. And there was this like time where I was like, if I remember thinking to myself, like, if I go for this, I can get this. I know I can, but I also am starting to see what I would be sacrificing, and I would be sacrificing because it wouldn't be time with my family that would come second, right? It would be this other business that I was building and I was really believing in. I was finally starting to get some footing inside of. So I knew that I would be sacrificing growth inside that business. And you can decide what this, what this means to you with where you're at in your journey. I'm certainly not giving you certainly not giving you a lecture and telling you not to go for the carrots. I believe in the incentives. I love how they move people and they get people excited and they reward hard work. And I think that they have a place inside of this industry. The industry has obviously realized what it takes to get people to move, right? And they reward hard work. And they reward it in a way that a lot of other industries do not do. So I'm not saying that you don't want to do that, but I am saying that you get a choice in this. You get to say what it is you want, right? You get to decide if you're going to go for that carrot or not. And I remember thinking to myself, what if I let this trip pass me by and it opens up a whole new opportunity through what I am giving my energy to? And what if I'm able to take my entire family rather than just Wayne and I for like 3 days? What if I'm able to take my whole family for a trip for for all of us for 10 days to Europe. I'm just saying that because we leave soon. But you know what I mean? Like every choice that you make is choosing not to do something else. And that's, I think, sometimes what we forget is that we think that we have the capacity to go for all the things. We think we have the capacity to do all the things. And just because you have the capability to do all the things doesn't necessarily mean that you should, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that that is what serves you the most. What I think serves you and everybody is building a business that feels sustainable inside of the average day, where every day you figure out what it takes to build this business in that day, to show up inside this business, and you do it. What I often see happen, people just go for the carrots, is that they rise for the challenge and they absolutely like fall from exertion afterwards. It's just been too much. And I remember feeling like that so many different times in my network marketing journey where I gave it my all. And again, I'm proud of the ways that I gave it my all. I do not regret a single step, a single incentive, a single push inside of my network marketing career, because it led me to where I am today. And your story is similar. I just want you to empower you to know that you have choice in this whole thing, and that you need to decide what your core priorities are first and what kind of business you desire to build. And for me, and what I teach inside of my world, inside of the Level Up Academy, inside of all of the places that you will find me, is a sustainable business model. We just launched actually the Consistency Club inside of the Level Up Academy, and it's all about core activities. I call them your what do I call them? I want to say break even, but that's not it. Baseline. I call them your baseline activities, and it's basically like the essential foundational tasks that you do in your business to keep your lights open. We have created trackers and trainings and like accountability pieces inside of it. And I'm actually going to be drawing for a couple prizes and that good stuff. Anyways, it's been a real game changer, because when you can build that into your business, then you actually free up the time, the space, and the energy to decide which big pushes you desire to make in your business, what you want to grow on top of that really solid foundation that you have built. That's what I teach in the world. I don't teach the hustle and the grind and the like stay up until 1 a.m. and sacrifice your entire life and time with your family. Like, I don't tell you, just put in good 12 to 15 months and you'll be able to reap those rewards for 10 years. But you know what? You got to give up everything for that first 12 to 15 months. Hell no, right? Like, how many people can actually stick to that? Some can, but what happens if it's not what you were sold at the end of that first 12 to 15 months? Because I've heard those strategies, right? And I think in the beginning, I even told myself some of those things, right? It'll all be worth it in the end. But what if it's all worth it right now? What if it's worth it every single step of the way, because you build something that is based around your core values that you are so freaking in love with, that you desire to show up inside of it every single day. You, not just that you like have to, because one day it's going to pay off. Okay. So that's my little rant and my little reel for you on how, for me, the most empowering experience in my entire journey wasn't the trips or like all the things that I earned along the way, but it was the one time I decided that I got to choose, and I chose not to go after it. And don't get me wrong, there was like ego moments as I was watching other people achieve it. There were like a lot of like feelings, right? The shit you got to work through when you are transitioning into different levels of yourself. But you can do it and you get to choose. And I think the only way people actually stick with this business model, not the only way to reach the top, but the only way you are actually going to keep building this for life, is if you build it in a way that feels good to you, that's sustainable inside your life. I just saw somebody decide to go off social media for the next couple of months because of burnout, right? And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me. I don't want to feel shame around showing up on social media every day, because I do. But I do it in a way that I love it and that fits inside of my life and serves my audience. And you can have that too, right? The only way it creates burnout is if you're going against what you desire to build, like if you're pushing in ways or if you aren't giving yourself room to breathe. So there you go, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this message or this episode. I hope that you feel empowered to make these choices inside of your life, inside of your business, that no upline is going to swing you one way or the other, that you are the sole CEO of your business. And regardless of what is going on inside your company, you own this business, right? This is your business. You get to make the choices for it, the decisions, the pushes, whatever it is. And hell, if you want to go for those incentives, if they feel aligned with what you're building in the moment, hell yeah, right? You put your whole heart and soul into them and celebrate your success every step of the way. If you have loved this episode as much as I hope that you have, please, in whatever platform that you are watching it on, share it, spread the word, tag me over on Instagram at Lori Irvin Coaching. On Facebook, I'm Lori Eldridge Irvin. Find us inside of the Level Up community, my free coaching community inside of Facebook. Or I've got lots of good tips over on Instagram, which is also Lori Irvin Coaching, I think, or maybe just Lori Irvin. All right, you guys, I hope you have a fantastic week. I will see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel, or inside the next episode if you are binging.